Alright, skill maintenance video number 2, a little refresher on completing the square. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this equation, set it equal to 0. So we're going to get x squared minus 8x minus 5. And now let's go ahead and take that minus 5. Let's add 5 to both sides to move it over to get 5 equals x squared minus 8x. And now you ask yourself, well, what do I need to add to make this a perfect square? Well, you're going to need to add half of that number squared. So half of that number is negative 4, and negative 4 squared is 16. So I'm going to add 16 over here, which means I need to add 16 over there. So I'm going to get 21 equals x squared minus 8x plus 16, which I can factor as x minus 4 squared. And then finally, last step is to subtract 21 and move it back over. And we're going to get y equals x minus 4 squared minus 21. That's the basics of completing the square. Remember, the whole goal is to get it in this form. We can identify the vertex as the point 4 comma negative 21. Let's look at one more example. Let's look at something where the coefficient is not just 1. So let's go y equals negative 2. Whoa. Negative 2 times, let's go negative 2 x squared plus 4x minus 3. Now our starting point is going to be exactly the same. We're going to set it equal to 0 and add 3 to both sides to get that 3 over on the other side. So we're going to get 3 equals negative 2 times x squared plus 4x. And now we're going to factor the negative 2 out on the right side. So we're going to get 3 equals negative 2 times x squared minus 2x. And now let's look inside those parentheses there and think about what we need to add to complete the square for x squared minus 2x. Well, again, it's going to be half of negative 2 squared. So in this case, half of negative 2 is negative 1. Square it is positive 1. So we added 1 inside the parentheses, but don't forget everything inside the parentheses is being multiplied by negative 2. So really it's like we added 1 times negative 2 is negative 2. So really I subtracted 2 on the right, so I need to subtract 2 on the left as well. So 3 minus 2 gives me 1 equals negative 2 times x squared minus 2x plus 1 can be factored as x minus 1 quantity squared. And then last step, y equals negative 2x minus 1 squared. Move that 1 over by subtracting it. You have your completed square.